Captain's Log, Episode 78. This week's episode of the Beer Vengers podcast is sponsored by the Beer and Cheese Collective, located at 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria, Queens. Enjoy their eclectic array of craft beer, artisanal cheeses, and specialty grocery items at the Beer and Cheese Collective. The Beer Vengers is an unscripted podcast, except usually for this part of the opening, where I usually try and write a few things, summing up the episode, writing something clever and witty. But in support of the Writers Guild of America, who are currently on strike, I am not writing anything until the end of that strike. So this is a little bit awkward, a little halting, but just want to put in a little message to support your writers and your other friends and acquaintances and the people you don't know who aren't making a living right now because the writers are holding out to have reasonable working conditions, as we all want. So if you know anyone who's affected by all this and you happen to run across them, buy them a beer. It's the least you can do. Remember to like, star, and subscribe whenever that feels appropriate. And send us your emails at thebeervengers@gmail.com if you have any questions, suggestions, or if you just like hearing us talk about you on the show. And now, without further ado, please enjoy episode 78, Up Our Own Scandinavian Asses.
Oh, with a beer Vengers, beer Vengers, beer Vengers. We're the Beer Vengers.
Welcome to the Beercast, everyone. Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Astoria, Queens, I am Captain Porter Brownstout.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in Fresno, California. That's right, Fresno. It's a cool place. This is the Pale Male Hophead Huck.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the County of Kings, it is I, the Beer Wonder.
And coming to you from an undisclosed location in the borough of Brooklyn, it is I, the Globe Hopper.
And we are
The
Beer
Vengers. Harmony this time. I like harmony.
Not
yes.
bad.
Not bad at all.
We're not Beer Vengers if we're not in harmony, at least
It's
in
very
spirit.
true.
It's nice. It actually sounds good too.
Yep.
Welcome, Beer Vengers in here, Beer Vengers out there, Beer Vengers in whatever form you're taking. I'm sorry to say we don't have any more downloads that are coming from undisclosed areas, so we'll just have to pretend that one Norwegian download.
No, aliens.
Aliens are taking over Norway. Yeah, I mean,
They would
Clearly.
be if they came here.
Isn't Norway the happiest place on Earth? They obviously colonized the right spot.
well, I mean,
I believe it's Finland is actually.
Oh, really? It's Finland?
Number
Oh,
one,
okay.
yeah.
Well, they got all that oil, you know.
Well, you have a lot of the what's that area called with Norway, Iceland,
Scandinavians is what we call them in Minnesota. Yes.
Yeah, you got a lot of them there. So,
Yeah, well,
do you think they're aliens?
I mean, it was cold enough. They were very lovely people. They had lots of fun lingonberry things and like did weird things with fish. So it would have been alien to some parts of the world, but they were delightful and very tall. I should have meant very tall. See, that could be it. That could be it. The height could be. Well, we have the Globe Hopper here, so I'm sure that he can weigh in. But very
Thank you for
tall.
mentioning that. We've gotten so
Yes.
used to him being around, we're just treating him like one of us and not treating him like a cherished special guest, which he is.
Us.
He's
One
not
of
an.
us.
Thank you. He's not an alien. I just want to clear that up in case anyone.
Oh yes, that was not where the segue was going. Now,
Correct. Thank you.
But yes, Globe Hopper, for reasons that will become clear soon. It's always good to have you on the show, but we have a couple of reasons why you're on this week. But welcome back. Wonderful to have you here again.
Always good to be back. That's all I got. So yeah, it's good to be back. No,
He is.
You know, way on the height of Scandinavians, or
I mean they're always tall.
they say the
Or
tallest
do you
people
mean
are
the height of like their civilization, or like the height of physical
we go.
height?
I mean, honestly, Globe Hopper, I will take a treatise from you on either of those things.
Right.
I'm sure either way it will not only be entertaining but educational for the
I'm
folks. at
told
home.
actually the Dutch are the tallest people. Strangely
really?
enough. Yeah.
It's the shoes.
I feel like we're talking about a lot of things
It is the
except for the
shoes.
elephant, and then in the room in front of our in front of our computers in our hands.
Elephants are tall too. I just want to clear that up.
They
Okay.
are, and so is my beer.
Oh.
So what do you
Good
say we
job.
get to the pours, gentlemen?
Yes, please. Mine is sweating.
Oh dear. I can't have that. Well, I'm just gonna call it right now.
Yeah,
He's back. We don't get to see him that much. You
well,
know
that's
what I mean?
true.
It's just I feel like I don't know. The Scandinavians were always very polite, and so I feel like we should follow in their footsteps and allow the globe hopper to have our first.
Oh, I
pour
thought
today.
that was the him you meant. I just wasn't sure. I
Very
was really
good.
foolish. Otherwise, yes,
Yeah,
please.
It would,
Globe hopper.
they're just very nice people.
Who's going second is going to be a problem, but yeah, we'll go
That's
to the Globe Hopper.
save us all for that one.
What do you have for us today?
Well, I do not have anything Scandinavian, unfortunately.
Ugh.
But I have something close. I actually have the Oracle from Anchorage Brewing.
Ooh, as
Right
Anchorage,
over
as
here.
in Alaska,
As in
Anchorage.
Alaska.
Mm.
Ooh,
I
Oh,
can
that's
get this in
great.
here. It's
a beautiful, and it's got a cork in it too. That's
Yeah.
so nice.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna
Lovely town. I
let
didn't
me
get to
open
visit
this, and
brewery
then
when I
we'll
was
look
there.
at that label because
Okay.
I don't want to shake this
Yeah,
around too much.
Couldn't tell if it had one of those wax things on the outside of it too.
As the wire on there, so
Oh, what?
let's just see
Very
if we can
fancy.
pop this.
We're
This is
all
the suspense.
we're all shivering it in. Tissa.
Well,
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
We're
If we all
gonna
work
get
together, yeah. No, if we all believe in
almost.
this.
We got. There we
Oh,
go.
there. Oh. This is okay. Well, the honestly, the facial expressions are worth it right now. There we go.
There we go. I
Okay.
got it.
Patient.
Yeah.
Here's much of a.
There we go.
Patient.
Let's take a look at this beauty.
So
Holy,
this-
is it red?
Ooh.
It's
red.
red.
So this is one of their sours.
Of course
Mm.
it is.
It is a. Let me get this right because
Very subtle head on that thing.
it is. It is a sour. There it is. Fermented and aged in Missouri oak foeders or foeders. Or foeders. You know.
Footers.
Finished on hand picked Alaskan blueberries and haskell berries.
Let's get a good look at that bottle and
Oh
glass.
yeah, I do want to see that label because that label did look
Yeah.
very cool.
Oh, great.
Here, let me. And then
Yeah,
it's
almost
a
no head on that
wolf.
thing at all.
Yeah, it's a
Oh
gold.
yeah, it's such a cool. Was that like a bat? What's going on there?
So it is a wolf with a skull and ravens.
Oh,
Very good.
Wow,
Yeah.
that all sounds very logical to me for Alaska.
Yes.
Yes. It's so cold
it's
in
like
Alaska.
Crow and Wolf has the
Oh,
same.
there you go. Yeah, I
Wolf and
also want
Ravens.
to call out. I think Globe Hopper. That was a
It's the
Five
glass.
Boroughs Brewing Company glass. Is that right?
That is, and this is a no longer in production glass.
Oh, okay.
This
I
they
have one of
switched
those
out their
myself
glassware
today.
a couple years, or no, last year, and then they were doing a special to give them away. You bought a pint, you got a glass.
I do remember that. I remember you trying to get me out there, and somehow for whatever reason, I wasn't able to. So I'm glad you were.
Well, I'll jump on the segue here. That Alaskan, when I went to Alaska last year,
Mhm.
It was
before,
last year,
maybe
yeah.
2 years now. I got back into West Coast style IPA, so that's what I have here today.
Ooh,
Is a beautiful West Coast style IPA from these are from Crown and Hops Brewing in Inglewood, California.
ooh,
Black owned business. Very proud to be part of the Inglewood Renaissance that is happening.
Love it.
Revitalization of the city. And I've yet to try any of their beers, so I'm excited to try this. And of course, as with my quest to introduce new breweries every week, we're doing one right here. So,
Ooh.
well, actually, got the logo there. It's kind of nice on the pour. So let's give it
Yeah.
a try.
oh my! So golden, beautiful head, like
Alright.
intense head happening.
Also, in a out of production glass.
Look at that. Yes.
That is
Although
true.
they might still make the same glass for the other.
They might.
They
Yeah.
think they have the same. There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Nice pour.
Look at
Nice-
that
nice
head.
looking beer, and I can smell
Really
it
is.
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it piney and resiny? Is it the
Yeah,
piney
it's
and
got a good
resiny
vibe.
west coast of your dreams?
It could be. We'll have to taste it to find out. But
Yeah,
so
let's
far,
see
so
it. Let's
good.
see it next to the can
Oh, yeah,
again.
yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it was.
I
wanna
love
see
the
them together.
golden sun. I just think it's
Inglewood
really
Sun.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
Very
Good looking beer. Yeah, excellent. All right,
Well, Beer
gentlemen,
Wonder, I know
what do
you've
you
had
have
a
for us?
long day
I,
out there in your undisclosed location. I think you've
I
been waiting too long
you,
already. So what do
you
you have today?
you are very kind. Well, to the shock of
Sponsored for
everyone, every week tonight, I will be drinking a.
A sponsored pour from the Beer and
I
Cheese
know.
Collective.
Are
Excellent.
we, aren't we all utterly shocked?
Yeah, I'm
I was a little surprised.
flabbergasted and
Yeah.
flummoxed.
Perfect. That's kind of what I was going for. Well, actually, I also this sponsored port takes us over to Hawks Coast. Believe it or not, it's from El
Ooh.
Segundo Brewing Company.
Okay.
You might have heard of them. It
Yeah.
is the Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that in my store. Yeah.
I know. See, it was just, I guess it was just calling to us to really connect us with you, Huck.
Now I won't be able to introduce that one, but okay.
I know. Everything is ruined. I'm sorry.
Have I done El Segundo on the show? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't remember, but anyway, let's crack
We're
this.
having it now. Let's take a look. Yeah.
I know. I'm actually really excited about this one. I did a little reading about it. They're recommending it for pickup only right now in California. They don't ship it across state lines. So I'm curious how our friends at the Beer and Cheese Collective managed to get this one. But let's check that.
It might. I think I may be wrong on this one. I think it might be a 12% thing.
Oh, okay.
But it might say on the bottle or on the can where they actually made that beer, but I'm not positive about that.
Oh, so it might have been made in Connecticut.
Oh, it says it is made by Two Roads in Stratford, Connecticut.
Two
That's
Roads.
correct.
Okay, there you
Yep,
go. So
there you go.
I knew I was on the right track there.
Yep. But there it is. It has given me already the the smell is giving me the West Coast beer of my dreams. So Huck, we may be twins today
Sponsored
We get
for
together
in
on
our
that,
beer
yeah.
adventures. I know. All right, Captain.
All right. Well, I also have that's right, a sponsored pour from the Beer and Cheese Collective, 35-11 Ditmars Boulevard.
It's embarrassing when we do this every week. We need to really coordinate this better.
Well, I
And that's what the sponsor's for.
They have so many wonderful beers. We don't even include all the ones they give us on the show. So check our Instagrams for all the other ones. That's where we mostly have the full documentation. As soon as we get them, I put them on there. But what I have, this is you remember the Black Duck Porter from
Yeah.
Greenport Harbor? Well, this is a
Know it
sequel
well.
of sorts. This is the Double Duck Imperial Porter.
Oh, my goodness.
I've been waiting for this.
So
Two
yeah,
ducks?
it is a 9.8% ABV.
Oh boy.
That's triple because
It's just
well, I guess it's actually about right. 4.5
Probably
is the
about right,
regular one. Yeah.
all right. So here we go. Let's take a look at this.
Oh boy.
Double duck. Oh man, because I love that Greenport,
Oh,
the black duck, but it's not very strong. It's very tasty, and that looks great in the glass.
Yeah, I think it's about 4.7, but yeah, this is a 9.8. Let's just
Yeah,
take
oh my
that.
gosh, that's
Look at
just
that.
magical.
nice chocolatey head there.
And look at the ducks. Honestly, the duck. Like I feel like if we
There's
had
two.
there's two, but if we had a third, they could have like a council. They could discuss things. They could make some important decisions.
I'd watch that show
I
if
would
we had
too.
writers. If we had writers to write it.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Speaking of what all of our writing friends and all our friends on the pick line need is a beer. We have beers. Cheers, Beer Avengers.
cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's wonderful. That's really good.
Is it? This is great too. Really nice. Really solid.
I gotta know what's up with this red beer.
Yeah, we must learn more.
Yeah.
So it is sour, tart. You do get the blueberries. I have not eaten Haskell berries myself, but when I looked them up, they are combination of like quarter flavored blueberries, quarter flavored currants, quarter flavored cranberries, and I guess blackberries in there too. So it's just really fresh, tart. It's like jam. It's like a good old. It's just like jam, but not sweet. So like a natural, like low sugar jam.
Ooh.
But yeah, and the head's coming back a little bit. But it's lovely. It's lovely on a nice summer day.
What was the ABV on that one again?
6.4.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit lower,
Solid.
especially for a barrel aged,
Yeah.
but it's lovely.
Right on. Well, this guy is this Inglewood Sun is speaking to me. It's got a very nice West Coast vibe. I actually would. I'd love to have it on draft. You know,
Oh, I bet.
it doesn't say what kind of hops are in it, but it should taste like the sun. signature profile that California beer lovers love to take pride in. Bright, clean, and dank, with nothing
Ugh.
compromising the character of what we know as the West Coast style of the India Pale Ale. There you go.
Don't compromise the character. If you do that, it's bad news.
A nice brewery. Yeah, I'll look forward to trying more of theirs. I know they have a hazy, and they've got a couple of others. So yeah, I hope to see more of them in my future here in the Central Valley, where it is 100 degrees today.
Oof.
100 degrees. Yeah, it
So
was
you
it was
earned your
mid
beer.
80s in New York
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Oh, it's like Fresno's back. Like it goes away, and then once it's back, it's like here. It's like 100 degrees every day now, until maybe we'll get some cool days in September.
So you guys just
Maybe.
bake May, June, July, August. That's 4 months.
Yeah, and September too.
Have you tried the like cook an egg on your car thing?
Oh no, I bet definitely could. Actually,
Okay.
we keep the cars in the garage.
Oh, okay.
You know how some people stuff their garages with crap so they can't fit the cars in, but we're like, I'm gonna keep this in because it's much cooler in the hot garage than it is out in the sun. But let's hear more about these beers. Especially, I want to hear about this Double Duck.
Yes.
The double duck. It has cocoa nibs, coconut, and vanilla. Although I think the coconut is extremely subtle.
Oh.
But it has that
I
like
didn't realize they added that stuff. Oh wow!
yeah. It's those are the ones that are listed. Well, it's funny they have several things listed in different places. It's a coconut, vanilla. Like it's almost like they're looking for hashtag things to put on this on the side. It says coconut, vanilla, imperial porter, 9.8% ABV. And the
Wow.
one I'd forgotten. This must be their motto, and not just specifically for this one. It's live deep. Live
deep in the Greenport Harbor.
Yeah.
You will find.
But
Yeah.
The double duck.
It's nice. It really is like just a stronger version of the other one. All the flavor has the same integrity. It's a little thicker, a little more sippable. But really, there's nothing surprising and everything wonderful about it. It's just like a really nice, solid imperial porter. That none of the sweetness stuff, none of the adjuncts really do anything but enhance the wonderful flavor that's all in there.
Excellent news.
Yeah, well, and to call out our dear friend Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA, first off, I just want to read that they have indicated that this badass 6.7% IPA, that is their words, badass. So, you know, is specifically for the working man and woman. So
Good they included the ladies in that.
Exactly. I'm glad everyone's a part of this experience. Cascade, Citra, Chinook in there. Nice big flavors. Really easy finish. Could definitely see this, you know, you're going along the trail. You got the barbed wire like they got on the can. You got the skull of one of your fallen compadres there on the road, and then you kick up your cowboy boots at the end of the long, hard working day, and you drink your 6.7% West Coast IPA. And gosh darn it, it's cowboy beer right here. I'm digging it.
Doesn't that brewery have like 5 or
gotta
6 different versions of the Steve Austin beers?
Yes, they do. They have
Yeah.
quite a few. They do have quite a few of his, based on their website at least. And this is one that they, this one is out of Connecticut, but it does indicate that they cannot ship beers directly to consumers over state lines. So it was given me as someone I think visiting from the County of Kings. They were giving me a little bit of questionableness about me being on their website. So I'm glad that they're keeping things on the straight and narrow for their beer shipping.
You know, if they're going to brew some of their beer in Connecticut, it's going to happen.
I know. Well, you see, we're going to go research it. We're going to find it because that's what beer ventures do.
That's right. Or at least we certainly talk about it a lot.
I'll keep an eye out. I'll get another El Segundo on the show sometime.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, we can verify their quality. But we got some good breweries tonight, but there were some good breweries had just a little bit over a week ago.
Yeah, that's true. I think, of course, you were talking about Stoutapalooza 2023, which Huck was able to make a brief appearance at via the magic technology that I almost remember because it was like 5 hours into it. So, and I was there for the entire run of it. It actually worked. Unfortunately, 4 people I invited were not able to join. Last minute, they came down with some this weird spring thing that a lot of us are getting. But so, and then of the remaining 12 people, they kind of came in shifts. And the entire first shift was almost entirely people who hadn't been to one of these things before. And that's where you were in there with a Globe Hopper. You've been to Bottle Shares before, but this is the first one you've been to here. And then Beer Wonder came sort of for the second half of it, when all the veterans were here, as well as a little bit crossover with all of it together. And at some point in there, we had a wonderful video call with Huck. Showed us what we had of the kill wall so far. I think ultimately the kill wall had 23 different bottles and cans there, 2 of which were ciders, because Cider Cat was there, and I think some other people were drinking a little bit of cider as well. But most of it is the usual Stoutapalooza, barley wines, imperial stouts, maybe the occasional. I don't know. I don't know if we found one of those under 6% ones you were talking about, Huck. The funny thing is
no, we did not.
On the last episode, you had mentioned that when the last time you were here, you were desperately trying to find something under 6% and couldn't. And I mentioned that Black Walnut Dunkel. One of the guests, Eric, sometimes I let people pick their own beers. So here, just pick one for the group. And he went straight for that Black Walnut Dunkel, 6.6%.
Hey, I remember we did find an IPA in there, Stone IPA.
You did. I don't know if it was under 6% though.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Well, Globe Hopper, given that this was your first foray into this hallowed Beer Avengers tradition, it almost is a sacred moment for us at this point. I should say. What were your initial thoughts, and did you have any beers that you were particularly excited by?
Well, I will say for definitely for the listeners, Stoutapalooza is not for the faint of heart.
Very true.
Definitely, just go in with expectations that. It's going to be a night. And I was only there for half the night. But no, it was.
But I laud you for, I know you have had a car in the past. So I think you made the right decision coming on the train, despite the fact that it wasn't a great day for the MTA.
No.
Yeah, no, but definitely the drinks helped the ride home on the MTA much better. So, it allowed me to be able to handle that just a hint better. But as far as which ones I liked,
I was gonna keep looking at that
again. I think being in the first half, we went through maybe 10-ish, probably about half of them. After a while, it's just I was going to log them all afterwards, which is usually what I do, and then I just forgot what they all were, as one does. But no, there's definitely I know the Thin Mint one definitely is at the front of the mind.
The reason I brought that up really early on was because I'm pretty sure, Huck, do you remember if I had the Imperial Girl Scout cookie? It was called the Last Girl Scout. I think I had that one at the last get together.
It's quite
possible. So I brought it out early because I knew all new people
right.
who hadn't had it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Who's the brewery on that one?
It is Martin House out of Houston, Texas. They also had that really great Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one that I put up there, although I'm sure they have a different name for it. But it basically, the can looks like they're doing a dark, gritty reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It is some epic can art, I will say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I partook in that one, but I was just blown away by that can art.
Is it more of an adolescent karate amphibian?
That sounds, yes, that would be accurate.
I don't know what they called it.
Yeah, that's less of a teenage mutant and ninja.
Did we not put the
kill I was just saying for audio listeners, I've put up the kill wall up there, and you can see like it's unfortunately, since the turtle is green, you can't quite see it that well here, but it's right up there, right next to the Black Walnut Dunkel.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it is. And well, and honestly, we can put a picture up on the gram because it is definitely worth.
Yes, we certainly can.
Worth checking out. Yep. Which is, of course, at the Beer Avengers. Make sure that you're following along if you aren't already.
Yes.
So now, in terms of preparing for this experience, Globe Hopper, do you have any recommendations for someone who might be blessed with the opportunity to come to Stoutapalooza?
Embrace it. Just embrace it.
It's not for amateurs.
No, it's not for amateurs. Take breaks. No. Pace yourself. it's a marathon, so you don't need to finish half a can at a time. Just a couple ounces. Keep it going. Enjoy the flavors. Take some breaks. Have some water. Maybe cleanse the palate with the cider.
Although to be fair,
That was good advice.
I think the Belgian Babe and I did start out with half a can each because no one showed up till close to an hour in, and I'm just like, well, we better get started now. And so I'd just gotten a can of this caramel lion from Torch and Crown, and we shared that can while we waited for everyone else to show up. So
Yeah, I usually have to when we used to have parties, we'd be like, okay, I'm not going to have anything until the first person shows up. And then if they were 45 minutes in, I'd be like, hi, you ready for a drink? Let's get a beer going. What do you say?
we see that's the thing is when you were hosting them with Cider Girl, you should have counted her as a person who's there.
Yeah, she's another person. She is a person, and she was there. Captain, you actually did some fun additions to this year's quality control changes that you like, opportunities to really kind of increase the tasting the things for folks. One of the big ones that I noticed was the wash station, which I thought was actually just a really cool thing that was new, at least in my experience, to Stoutoapalooza. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just decided to put a big pitcher of water and a bowl right in the middle of this, because basically we're all sort of, most of the tasting is going right around my coffee table. We've got a couch, a bunch of chairs, and little wooden blocks for people to sit on, just all around it. So right at the center of the coffee table, I put this this glass pitcher and a bowl, so everyone could, if they wanted to, could rinse their glasses in between pours.
That's a good idea, because sometimes if you want to capture those flavors, and if they get mixed in with the other ones,
even if these are kind of the same flavor profile, it's nice to get a little bit of palate cleanser, so to speak.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like it was a good palooza.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was looking at that kill wall.
Third palooza?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think
maybe
technically it might only be the second.
Well, I think it's only the second one we used the name for.
Right.
But I feel like we had two before the pandemic hit.
Okay, that makes sense.
That does feel right to me. Yeah, I feel like this was probably the fourth not annual Stoutoapalooza. But I did want to thank the captain for a great honor. I did have a chance to choose one of the beers from a really an auspicious selection this year. Yeah. Captain, you want to let the folks know, and then I can tell them what my decision was?
Well, yeah, we essentially, since Beer Wonder, I think the last time, this was sort of a sequel to the previous one, because last time I'd let you choose a Goose Island. I don't think I had the full set the last time, but I let you choose a Goose Island or either I waited for you to get there to pour one of the bourbon counties. This time I had the full set of 2021 selections, and I said, okay, pick which one of these ones you want us all to have. And you picked the cola one.
Yeah, just I wanted something that was a little bit unusual and different than we've had in the past. Have either of you, Globe Hopper or Huck, had the cola?
No. And I was going to ask what year that was. So we're talking about the 2021 was the bottle you opened.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was the cola.
Yeah.
Do you know what's the deal with that? Do they use actual cola nuts, or they probably do, because they using some artificial flavoring doesn't seem like that would be their style.
Yeah, I don't think they don't. It's not like some of the ones where they'll do a deal with a whiskey thing where they actually named for the whiskey or named for the thing. So yeah, probably they just put together their own version of. I mean, it definitely had that little cola flavor to it.
It did,
but it wasn't like specifically Coke or Pepsi or RC or. Are there any other Jolt Cola?
Yeah.
Jolt.
I went to our Lord Google be praised, just to check in on what's going up there. And so they apparently add lime and orange
nutmeg in here,
zest, plus coriander, cassia bark, nutmeg, brown sugar, and vanilla.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, she didn't actually notice at that time, but
I don't think she did. But I'm glad she caught later. I'm glad she noticed later.
Yeah.
I will say, if it was it was very faint. It was just a gentle, a wisp of nutmeg, just a wisp.
Yeah.
But I actually I thought it was pretty good. Like I very much, I think I went back for a second pour on that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
I don't know what you thought, Captain.
Yeah, I mean, if that were the case, it's probably because you were there I think shortly before the last the second shift fully got there.
Yes,
And so
correct.
probably you were dealing all with people who were there for the first time, who were probably going a little easier on their pores at that point. That's why there was enough in that bottle for you to have 2 of those.
Fair
Which is
enough.
insane, because I think that's part of the group that I started bringing out the big bottles with.
Yeah.
What was kind of fun for me with this one is, I think last time I was getting so caught up in the conversation, and Huck was being such a wonderful surrogate host that he kept like, let's get another one. Let's get another one. So you were
That
off and
was
like
bad,
bringing
yeah.
one. Honestly, no, that was great. I appreciated that.
It
But
was great.
that made me realize, I was remembering that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on top of this myself. And I realized, looking at the kill wall, that a lot of these beers are specifically, well, a combination are like ones that I had before, because whenever I order these beers in the mail, if it's less than $10, I'll get 2 of them. So whenever I get 2 of them, I always try one of them either on my own or to share with like Belgian Babe or someone. Uh, and so like, okay, this is definitely one I have to share with a group. This was a great one. And then on top of that, there were some that I've been aging for over a year. When I went to the barrel aged festival at Gun Hill, not the one this year, but the one last year, I still had a big bottle of their Puerto Rican Noggin,
Yeah.
and that was barrel aged, and their Void of Light barrel aged. And there were those big bomber bottles, and so I wound up bringing those ones out. And then a couple times I just decided it would be fun. I was looking at what's in there, and I said, I'll bring this one because someone here at this party was with me when I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, my friend John was with me at KCBC when I bought this. It's something like Into Darkness, or some Darkness is, I can't remember the name of the.
That was a good one.
Yeah. And then there was a Grimm beer wonder that I got when I was with you. It was no, and I'm forgetting the name of that as well, but it's on the wall there. So
it is on the wall.
But I was looking at it, noticing there's like personal connections with a lot of the stuff that's on there.
Yeah, it was fun to
see,
have.
Folks, we didn't use writers, so if the WGA is listening,
that's true.
We clearly didn't use writers.
No,
otherwise we'd be saying we'd be much more poetic right now.
Yeah. Well, was the Grimm associated with the Grimm stout that you guys went and had that?
It was the same
Brulee
day.
stout.
It was
one of the ones they had. There's one of those ones that they had available for the Brulee beer. But the difference was that I think I didn't want to get something in a bottle. I think when we were there, they only had it in a bottle. And so I said, okay, well, I'll get something that's on draft and do the Brulee for that. But I really want to try that beer, so I'm going to get one of them, take it home, and that's the one we had that need. It was called. That was why I was especially confused at first what Brulee was, because I think this one was called Brulot.
Oh
yes. That was what it was, because it was a little bit like it. I remember having that conversation with you where you were like, "Oh, this is the one I'd love to do this with, but it's on draft, or it's not on draft, so I want to try something else." And we did try it with a very good Dunkel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's another one from 50/50 in California that had a really, really fantastic. It was a barrel aged thing.
Yeah.
It's called Eclipse. Some version of their thing called Eclipse.
Didn't I bring a 50/50 beer on the show?
It's entirely possible.
I would not be surprised. Yeah.
I
think
at this point,
Party Porter, which was I guess I didn't have it on the show. I just had it. Very good.
Now that we're 78 episodes in, I should probably always have that spreadsheet at the ready that has everything we've had on every single episode.
Do I have it here? Brulot Diabolique.
That's right. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Inspired by the flaming New Orleans cocktail bearing the same name.
Oh my!
Rich barrel-aged imperial stout featuring Taconic whiskey and brown sugar rum barrels.
Oh boy!
Steeped on orange zest, coffee, cloves, and cinnamon. Oh my God, that sounds.
I think there's nutmeg in there.
You just put a little nutmeg in there, and you've got the cola that we drank this last time. So
wow, yeah, this is very similar. 10.5%.
Yeah,
I agree. Or there should be. Really, that's the lesson here. I did want to call out the Puerto Rican Noggin, which was I think
that's a good beer.
Which was I think one of my favorites of the night. I mean, I really enjoyed the cola, and I was really honored to be able to try that one. But that is a beer that kind of is like blends this like coquito kind of flavoring with this kind of like nice chocolatey portery thing. And they do it. You'll have to remind me, Captain. They do this annually, right? It's their
They do,
Gun
but
Hill
this
does
was also
yeah.
this was also a special barrel aged version of it too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those special beers that I kind of always forget about and then look forward to. And it was just kind of nice to have it. I mean, I know it's springtime and it's not the holidays and whatever, but it was just kind of it's just a beer that I always really enjoy. So it was really fun to have that one show up. Cause it's a little creamy, it's a little sweet, it's a little spicy. And it just is a really lovely beer. And I always forget about it until it shows up and I'm like, all right, this one's good. I like this one.
Yeah, you left one at my house one time.
Oh yeah,
you brought it over.
yeah.
Beer Wonder, and I was like,
Mhm.
it didn't get drank at the party. So
Right.
it was just sat in my fridge for a while, and I was like, it just seemed like it was too much. Like, that's gonna be too much for me. And
Yeah.
then when I opened it up, like your description you just said, it was like it was delightful beer.
Yeah, it's
I
just
was
such
really
a good
quite
beer.
happy with it. Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's a
I
good
think
one.
was one of the beers that I got from when I did the New York State box when the Brewers Guild was sending out a box of beers from different breweries. That was one that they sent. And they actually sent me two. Sorry if anyone was there. Whoever packed your box didn't mispack that one, but it was the greatest mispack ever because I had one and then I was able to give one to Huck. And it was such a
Oh,
good
that's
beer.
how it ended up with me.
That's how
Nice.
it well because I was going to enjoy something like that myself, you know. But
Hell
but
yeah.
then I had an extra one, so I figured I should share the love as all beer vendors do.
That's
Um,
right. That's right. And I apologize for not opening it at the at whatever
eh,
tasting it was. Was it our COVID our COVID super spread party, or was that
I don't remember if it was that one, but it was probably adjacent to that one.
or the one before? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're allowed to make that joke now. I remember the first couple months after that, we were all weren't sure if we
Treading
could call
lightly.
it that, but yeah,
We were making it right away
yes.
No good.
in this house.
I think one of the reasons you don't see the Puerto Rican noggin, you're like hear about it but don't see it. They make a big deal out of it on their social media, but I don't
Right.
see it much outside of the brewery.
Yeah.
I don't
think
know
that's
how
right.
much distribution it has.
I mean, they seem to use it as a destination beer, is the sort of sense I've gotten, right? You're supposed
Yes.
to go there, pick it up, be at one of their events, like enjoy it on site. And so I'm wondering if that may be part of their marketing plan. But hey, if Gun Hill wants to let us know on the Instagrams
Yes.
or the DMs or the
We're all ears,
emails,
Dave.
we'd be happy to hear. So, well, with Stoutapalooza, I want to check in on those on what has been up with Globehopper because besides drinking stouts with you, we don't get to hang out with you much.
Yeah,
So
we got the GH in the house.
I know what kind of beer misadventures have you been on?
Oh, well, I've been doing a lot of beer education.
Mhm.
I think that's the word. That's the new
Yes.
one. We're going to use that one now. Getting people to other local breweries and things. But I've really been enjoying, there's been a few things along with stouts over at Wild East. They just they put in a cask tap. So they
Ooh.
can actually put any of their beers on cask it's an old, I think it dates back from this one specifically is like from the 1800s, where it does a traditional cask pour.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
reading about that. Yeah.
and they currently have their standard deviation stout on it. And I had that just a few days ago, and it was lovely. Nice cellar temp, a little closer to room temp, but that's okay. And it was just brought out all the chocolate, all the nice sweetness, super smooth, and I drank 5 ounces way too fast, but
Oh.
it was lovely.
Mhm.
So they're doing some really nice, bringing those traditional flavors back. So I've been having a lot of fun with them. And then over at Rockaway, I actually have been drinking more stouts, even though it's getting warmer, but that's okay. That's okay.
Hashtag it's always stout season.
Hashtag
Yes.
stout season, all season.
It's always stout
It's
season.
always stout season. Yeah.
It is always stout season.
Yes.
But they did a 3% stout. That was I'm a little bit of a nerd and I like the fun stuff. And I believe, Captain, you have had either on the show or in person the Bungalow Nights from Rockaway.
Oh yes,
So
I'm
good,
pretty
right?
sure if I didn't have it on the show, I should have because they did a tasting at Beer and Cheese Collective a couple months ago, and they brought a bunch of them there. and I bought a bunch of them, and and they're all gone now because they're
Yeah.
such an incredible beer.
It's such a good beer. But
They're like
being
that dark chocolate sea salt thing. Yeah.
and I think it's 13%, 12, 13, right around there.
I'm going to
But
push more towards 12, but yeah, you could be right.
12, it might be 12. After I drank 2 in one night, so I don't really know.
Good
But
work. Good work.
they actually, I was talking to the brewers over there, and they actually will do where they brew that stout, and then the leftover grist, they actually brew a second stout with it because there's
how
so
cool.
many residual sugars left over
Oh,
that they
wow.
can make a 3% stout.
Holy
And then
moly.
they add coffee to it, and then it's just, again, lovely.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So it was kind of fun to talk with them and see how they can actually. Normally, you can't reuse the spent grain, but they actually did find a way to use it, and
Nice.
because the Bungalow Nights has so much sugar in it.
Yeah.
Being a
What
pastry
and what do
stout.
they call the 3% one?
Oh, it is no longer on draft because it went very quickly.
Yeah.
I
It
bet. My gosh.
was. I'd have to look it up. I'll find it. I'll find it.
So according to Untapped, Bungalow Nights is 10%.
Oh, that's it. Oh, it hits every.
That's it. That's it. You stout drinkers, I'm so impressed by you. I'm sitting here with my 6.7% working man's beer, and y'all are just throwing back your 10 to 12 percenters. I love
that
it.
was the ABV on mine too. Is 6.8 maybe.
I think Globe Hopper was also 6.7, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Yeah.
I did want to go back to one thing on Globe Hopper. I want to hear about more. If you have other stuff, I want to hear that. But I'm curious where you got that that very unique Alaskan sour. Where did you find that?
Good question.
I actually found it. So there is a local beer distributor over near Prospect Park, Brooklyn Beer and Soda. And normally with a large beer distributor, you're only going to get your macro brews, your twisted teas, your, things for the everyday working man, right?
Everyday working man.
Everyday working man.
Or woman.
Everyday working person.
There you go.
There we go. However, they have 2 shelves that have beers that are either barrel aged or are kind of hard to get. So they have an entire shelf of barrel aged beers, whether it's sours, stouts, or anything in between. And that's usually with all of their deliriums and a few other international brews as well. So a lot of times you wouldn't think of going to a distributor, but they just have these little gems there on their shelf that every once in a while I can get something. I've also had the Yule yellow label. I've had it a couple times. Captain, I'll get you one because it's a bourbon barrel aged vanilla milk stout. And it is fantastic.
Is it also from Anchorage?
No, that one is from a Norwegian brewery that I cannot pronounce.
All right.
Norwegian. It all comes back.
It's all coming around.
It all comes back.
Our good Scandinavian friends. Yeah.
Yeah. And it says Yule, but it's Yule with an O and an extra E, and
because that is the Yuletide season for them.
Exactly.
We learned that at our other job.
Spelling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct spelling.
I'm ready to open another beer if you guys are game.
I do, and I also want to hear more about what you've been. I know last time we talked, you were about to go on that taco trail, and
I'm not going to try to make it all about me, but
Well, but here's the thing: if you have not been following along with the TikToks at the Beer Avengers on the TikToks,
I'm going to mention the TikToks.
You got it, because the Huck is telling us what's up. But Huck, tell us what is up with this beer.
I have the Almanac.
Oh boy,
we're going from L.A. County up to the Bay Area. This is Almanac out of Alameda, California. The True Kolsch, even though they do say Kolsch style ale, because a True Kolsch must be brewed within 50 kilometers of the city of Cologne, Germany.
Thank you.
But they're telling me that this is going to be true. They really like their Kolsch style ale, and
Well, maybe by since they're saying it's style, but using true, they're just saying it is true
Just saying it's as
in
true as we can
spirit.
get.
It's true in
It's got
spirit
nice,
to a Kolsch.
nice color.
That's beautiful.
Little,
Yeah,
It
not
is
too-
gorgeous.
got a
Very
nice
Kolschy.
Kolschy vibe.
You're getting that nice breadiness that you can get from a Kolsch. That sort of like cute intensity.
Yeah, a little sweetness.
Mm.
You
We
know,
love
it's yeah, that's true Kolsch. They're very drinkable. That'll go down easy. Yeah, and you see, I have my Crow and Wolf glass.
Oh,
'Cause,
nice.
Crow and Wolf was one of the beers on the one of the breweries we went to on the Taps and Taco Trail, the Clovis Taps and Taco Trail. I
So
don't
what
want
was up with that? What was up with that?
the Clovis Taps and Tacos Trail. Let's just take the word tacos. We'll just put that aside because it really we're in a town with really good tacos. The tacos weren't that interesting.
So it
Well,
was
actually,
more.
maybe I did have a couple of good ones, but it was about the beer. So we went to 4 breweries. We started at a brewery called now Clovis, as I may have mentioned before, is kind of part of the Fresno area.
Okay.
It's another town, but it's like this little corner of the Fresno area. That's a different town called Clovis. It's kind of an
Okay.
old school town. They have the rodeo there every year. There's a different vibe in Clovis. It's a little more right leaning, I would say. Clovis, I suppose they have more money there, that kind of thing. Even though a lot of people live in trailer parks, it's a weird place. But great breweries. So we went to Incinerati Brewery, which was excellent. They're known for their IPAs. I had an Incinerati on the show.
They've frequently
weeks
reached out
ago.
to us on the socials. So
And they've been connecting.
Shout
on
out to
socials.
Incinerati.
Nice small tap room. They had a different game on every table. That was really nice. And the idea with the trail was that you didn't have to drive. There were shuttles and a trolley. The Old Town trolley was going to pick you up and bring you to the next place. Now, at first place, when we left, because we took an Uber.
Okay.
Shout
Good
out,
for you.
Shout out to the fine folks at Uber. And took that to Clovis because our friends that went with us live in the same neighborhood as us. They walked over the house.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about beer venture names, actually, because he was telling me on one of the buses that he loves the nickname Rye Guy.
Ooh.
And at the time, I was like, I didn't think of it, but that's a perfect beer venture name. So he's already got his name, Rye
Right.
Guy. So the Rye Guy and the lovely Sarah, who we haven't named yet. Great couple. We really like them a lot. Good friends of ours out here, even though we've only been here a year. The 4 of us went on this tacos trail with Cider Girl. And so Incinerati was great. We go on to the next place. And the next place was called Tactical Ops.
Oh,
Okay. Globe Hopper, if you can imagine what Tactical Ops is all about. I mentioned that it's a bit of a right-leaning town. I actually was really impressed with this tap room. And I did a TikTok. You can see it on a Beer Vengers TikTok. They are decked out in militaria. The whole tap room, right? There's all kinds of patches on the wall and tributes and flags, and the backdrop where the taps are is a camo net, and there's missiles for the taps. I mean, they go all out. And I mean, it's honestly, if you're not, I'm a peaceful guy myself. I'm not into war and all that, but I was impressed. It was really the layout. But I did have a beer. It was Scottish ale. They actually called it McDrunkerson's Mead, where they had all these military names. They have the Ghost of Kiev and the Blonde Bomber and beers of this militaria. But the Scotch ale was McDrunkerson's Mead.
Oh my God.
And it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So that was Tactical Ops. You can check out the TikTok on the Beer Vengers.
As you should.
On TikTok. And then we went to another brewery called this is Summer Fox, right? So Summer Fox I've mentioned
talked about
before
them before,
because I go every week. I don't, not every week, but we go to the open mic on Thursdays there. And so Summer Fox I'm very familiar with. And but they had a beer, and Captain, I know you're not like a peanut butter guy. That's not your thing.
on a case-by-case basis.
You like brown ale. They have one called a Missile Brown. Missile Wolf. So back to Crow and Wolf. Missile Wolf Brown Ale. And they had that on tap, but they also had Missile Wolf Brown with peanut butter.
All right.
And I got to say, The best peanut butter beer I've ever
Huh.
had.
Okay. I would
And I've
love
had-
to. I would love to taste it.
Because I had the were you talking about Gun Hill? That had its spot at the top for me. The Gun Hill. What do they call this? What do they call the stout there?
Oh, Void of Light.
Void of Light
Yes.
peanut butter, and that was up there. And now Missile Wolf Brown with peanut butter is right there. Although I think Void of Light is stronger in alcohol, so the two different things. Plus, one's a brown, one's a stout, so different vibe. But great brown ale and great peanut butter brown ale. And then we went. We finally we wanted to finish at Crow and Wolf because that's kind of the favorite in town. I know a couple of the brewers there, and I know the taproom manager. I know everybody out here. I've only been there a year, but I know everyone. I've tried to make friends fast because I didn't have any when I got here. So Crow and Wolf, and I had another Scotch ale, and I made a TikTok about that too. That we got there, and when the bus, this is where we actually had the trolley. Like we actually caught the trolley from Summer Fox to Crow and Wolf, which was great because it was actually a trolley car. It was fun. It drove on the road, it didn't have tracks, but really that was a lot of fun. And then when we got to Crow and Wolf, everybody got off the trolley and we sort of like dispersed, the four of us, using the restrooms or whatever. And then I looked at the line. I'm like, I better get in this line. And I was like, right away I was like second in line, which was a good idea because then there was like 8 or 9 people behind me. And so I just ordered beers for everyone. Meanwhile, Rye Guy, he's off. He found an outdoor tap. There's sometimes when you have an indoor space, that's where you get all the beers. Then they have like an outpost where you get a few of them. He bought beers out there, and then I bought the beers inside, and we came together, and we had like twice the amount of beers we needed to have, which was fun. And but I had the Scotch ale there too, which is really excellent. And so Crow and Wolf, shout out to them. And they're probably my favorite in Clovis, although Summer Fox is nice, but Summer Fox is really a Fresno brewery. There you go. That's my quick recap of the Taps and Taco Trail. I think we came back to the house and drank more beer too.
That's correct.
We did.
As you should.
We did.
As you should.
We did do that.
That's how it works.
We did do that.
Well, I'm up for a second pour at this point myself, and I, as I mentioned, we went through a lot of beers that day, but it seems like that I have I still have a lot of things left that I'm not going to wait till my next party to do it. In fact, I don't even feel like starting to fill another crate until I make a little more space in the captain's beer fridge. So that means that for a while, I think we're going to open up another segment we haven't done in a while, and we're going to take a little trip to the Captain's Cellar. Okay, so this one, I was looking for ones to possibly have for this, and I was remembering what you said 2 weeks ago when we were talking about, you said you couldn't find a 6.6%, a beer under 6%, and so I happened to find one that just happens to be a 5.9%.
Oh my God.
It is a pecan pie porter from Backwoods Brewing in Washington State.
Oh, how about that?
It's my eyes are bad.
We're having a West Coast theme
got,
here today.
Apparently we are.
Stevenson, Washington. So it has all these like lovely greenery that you can't see because it's green. But like I said, 5.9%. Let's just open that up. Take a look at this.
And a little can.
So cute.
It is a little can.
I probably would have found that out in your fridge.
Well, I don't think it was. Yeah, I wasn't there last year, but yeah,
it's got a nice dark color and a
really
light white fluffy head to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful
pecan
little,
pie, and I hope
adorable.
it tastes like pecan pie. I love pecan pie.
So cute.
Yeah, it's a very light head.
Is it pecan or is it pecan, guys?
Pecan.
It's pecan.
Oh wow!
Sorry,
There were feelings on that.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely pronounced pecan some places, but I prefer to use that for the thing that if you don't want to get off at the rest stop. That makes me think of a place where you don't want to get to the rest stop because you're making such great time in the car, and so that's why you have a pecan.
Oh my gosh.
Never crossed my mind.
We all make choices.
But now you'll never
always.
forget it.
Pecan, you now can do.
Yes.
Pecan, you do now.
Now, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to bring it back to the East Coast.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes,
Because I
please.
actually have a second pour.
Oh my
Whoa!
goodness.
We're
What is
going.
even happening here?
Popper!
What is even happening?
So I did some research and I found out we haven't had them on the show before. And this is Night Shift Brewing.
Oh, yeah.
And this is
A
their
terrific
Night
brewery.
Fever.
Ooh.
It is a stout with chocolate and their own Night Shift coffee.
Oh, snap.
That's the real, and that was the correct crack for that can. That was
And
beautiful.
that's a Boston brewery.
Yeah, it's a solid.
Good old
Oh,
Boston
look at that.
brewery.
Look at that gorgeous
I've had
color.
them in Boston. They're fantastic.
How have you not had a night shift on?
I think we actually have, but I don't want to look. Like I said, I got to start bringing the spreadsheet here. But I don't have access to it.
Don't want to misquote you and say you have.
But
Well,
we haven't had this one for sure.
No, definitely not. It
We'll
looks
do it.
good.
We'll do it in Hookups next week.
It's
Yeah,
got a little more of a chocolatey head to it. Night.
that's
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's Night Fever, and there's a nice little purple disco ball on there.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's adorable. I bet he gives a hoot.
And I believe that they're a part of our the company we work for. We go to night shift as one of our tours. Yeah.
Yep, because they're right on the water. Yeah, they're right there.
Well, speaking of delicious dark beers, the captain had a birthday recently.
That's true.
Yeah.
Birthday boy.
I am an age equal to 5 11-year-olds.
Yes, you've done quite well.
Or
I'm
11
proud of you.
5-year-olds.
You stack them up on top of each other.
Yeah, and put a
they're
big like raincoat and try and get it an R-rated movie that way.
11 5-year-olds.
They're Scandinavians,
That's tough,
okay?
yeah.
They're Scandinavians. That's what they actually are. It's 5 11-year-olds in a trench coat. But
We call ourselves Captain Adult Man.
Correct. Yes. But I did want to just mention that for the captain's birthday, he and I had a wonderful trip to one of our favorite spots.
Yeah.
The Pony Bar. And Dan swung by. Captain, of course, was in his shirt, which is wonderful, and very kindly brought us around, but also brought us a really special beer.
Yes.
He brought us the Good Word Well-Oiled Blend 2022 number 3, which is a beautiful barrel-aged barley wine. Yeah.
And
can you repeat that, please?
It is the Good Word Well-Oiled Blend 2022 number 3.
Wow. And what's the name of the Good Word is the brewery?
Yep, it's a brewery and public house, and they're in Duluth, Georgia.
Gosh, okay.
It's a tricky one apparently to find. It was something that he said had been dropped off. And I don't usually love a barley wine, but I thought it was a delicious beer.
It wasn't too plummy for you?
It wasn't too plummy for me. It didn't taste like someone just like squirted a plum in my mouth. It had a roundness to it that I thought was really nice. But I wanted
I feel like someone squirted a plum in my mouth. Sounds like an innuendo of some sort.
You're welcome. You're welcome, friends.
We almost reached our adult rating on that one.
I'm just imagining, so how was your date last night? Yeah, well, I felt like someone just squirted a plum in my mouth, if you know what I'm saying.
Guys, we gotta live up to.
I do know where you stand. Yeah,
we
you
gotta
know
live
what
up
I
to
know
this.
more.
We gotta live up to this. Priorities, y'all.
Fuck yeah,
that's great. And he brought that over. It was in a bottle. Is that right?
He did. He did indeed. It was funny because we had our wonderful beer tender. As we were talking to her, she was saying, "Oh, I think there's a special bottle some back where she was going to bring us something," and then felt that Dan, stole her thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
She should have brought it out anyway. I'm gonna bring.
She should have. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all would have appreciated that.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, she's great.
The whole crew over there is pretty wonderful, and it was
me some Pony Bar.
And it was just a nice way I thought, to mark the captain's birthday, but it was also really special that Dan came over and gave us a little something extra, Yeah. And
absolutely.
And you may be hearing more from the Pony Bar on the Beer Cast, more to be announced.
He specifically requested to possibly sponsor some future episodes. So, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
There we go.
So now he has it at the ready. So now this is just like, this is going to turn into one of those episodes.
Yeah. Well, I've got one for you too.
I'm glad he's got his soundboard back. Yeah, we've missed it.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude. That where have you been hiding that?
That's
Captain?
my favorite. That's my favorite.
Where have you been hiding that nonsense?
Oh, that's
good
I have that.
Lord.
That is my phone
Oh
ring for
my
both of you
God.
guys.
Oh,
Oh,
good
is it really?
Lord.
It is.
Oh, good Lord. See, and the thing here's the evil thing about having a phone ring for someone is that they never hear it.
They
Because
never hear it.
why would they
Yeah.
ever call you when they're within earshot of your phone?
Well, you want to know when the last time I heard it? And it took me a
When?
minute to realize. I think I had earbuds in, so I wasn't really like listening. I was on my way to the big kickoff thing that we went to a couple months ago
Oh, right.
in
Yeah,
Industry City,
Mhm.
and you had told me you were at a pizza place, and I was trying to
Mm-hmm.
find you, and I'm hearing the sound, and at first I think it's like it's a car or something. It was like, oh no, that is my back pocket saying,
Good old back pocket.
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it just
Oh,
kept
fuck
like,
yeah, my dude.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
just
Okay,
like
now-
over and over, yeah.
Here's the thing. I think now we need to have the Globe Hopper doing it because
right.
really everyone should be represented on the soundboard.
When was that recorded? That was on the podcast.
It was on
course
the
it was.
episode where we
Of course it
had
was.
that beer. Yeah. Because remember that was the
Because-
deal was that we had an evil twin beer called OFYMD.
Yes. That's where it comes
So
from.
we
yeah.
all said, oh, and on that episode, I cut out all the sounds. And
Yeah, when are we gonna have? What's the guy's name? Yeah,
Yeppe?
Yeppe.
has anyone ever met Yeppe?
No, I think I've seen him once.
I mean, I'd have him on.
Anyway, that one I love because it sounds like when your friend is like had so many beers and he's passed out on the couch. You're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
That probably was an accurate representation of how I was in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be an accurate representation of how I am in this moment too. But
Because I used to do that. I would pass out at my own parties, and people would wake me up. I go, "Buddy, buddy."
We are really far up our own asses right now, aren't we?
We are.
There you go. There you go.
Is that up our own asses? Is that the episode title?
I hope not.
Up our own Scandinavian asses. I feel like
Yeah,
we have
give it a
made very
Scandinavian
clear that there
tie-in.
needs to be a Scandinavian reference tonight.
I mean, I think that's better than plum juice in the mouth. So,
That's true. Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
Oh,
That's
that might be
probably the
better.
name of
Yeah.
it.
It's going to be, we'll see what I come up
Plum
with
juice.
when I'm in the editing room.
Speaking of plum juice in the mouth, we need to get. Did you guys have a barley wine at?
Well, I
Stout
mean,
Palooza?
the Goose Island, that's a barley wine, isn't
The
it?
Goose Island is definitely a barley wine.
Oh,
I
I
think
think it was a stout.
I mean,
Cola?
it is, but it's, I don't know. I feel like all the Bourbon County ones that have got to the point where they're all pretty much billing themselves as barley wines.
Come
even though
on,
they're all
no.
barrel aged stouts. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
No.
I'm going to ask the Googles. Google be
they're
praised.
still technically
It is a
stouts,
stout.
though, right?
It is a stout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a barley wine in my fridge. It's probably the most typical barley wine that exists. But
Is it
should have
plummy?
the barley wine episode?
We tried a barley wine episode.
did,
It did
we
not
did.
go well.
I still think we should
Maybe
have I think we should have a Boilermaker episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
What
think-
does that entail? Because I'm not big on like mixed alcohol.
It is. It's just a lager and a shot,
Oh, okay.
And you can do
like a shot of
whatever.
whiskey. Yeah.
I love a good lager.
And I'm going to take the broadest interpretation with lager, word lager as possible. I figure if it is any lager is fine. The only rule that I've read is that you can't sip the shot.
Right.
You can
yeah.
either
Oh,
put
yeah,
it in the beer or you can shoot it, but you can't sip it because otherwise it's just a beer and a shot, not a. I don't know. It was one of the things that I came up with a while ago because it seemed like we're seeing a lot of places with that are doing Boilermakers.
I
We can
do.
do a pickleback episode.
That's the correct answer right there.
All right.
That sounds terrible.
I know. And but look, we do this for the people. We do research for the
All
people.
right.
but I think we should.
If we do a Boilermaker first, I'll be up for the pickleback. I don't.
Fair enough.
Can you do
Yeah,
a
there's to find
Boilermaker
something
with
to
a
shoot.
pickle
Well, I have
beer?
rum here. I guess I could find.
Wait,
something
a Boilermaker with a
With a
pickle
pickle-
chaser? Is that
No,
is that-
Boilermaker, but it's a pickle beer with a shot. So you're doing the pickleback as a Boilermaker?
We'd have to find. We each have to find pickle beers.
that will
That's
not be hard.
hard to
Only,
find.
yeah.
Well, there was one brewery that they had a tasting at Beer and Cheese like about a month ago. I can't think of the name of it, but they lean really hard into that pickle thing.
The one in Austin?
What's the name of it?
I don't remember. All I
Oh
right.
yeah,
There's
that's
one.
It's really a Texas thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there is one in Austin that really goes heavy into their pickle.
Yeah, it's one of Dallas too.
Yeah.
And they do like a wing sauce beer. Like I don't remember the name of this brewery, but it's like they go for the craziest flavors, like chicken wing beer. This is like
What the
what?
hell are we even
What?
doing?
Well, I mean, the buffalo sauce that works. I've had
Yeah,
cayenne
Buffalo sauce, I
IPA
guess it
before.
could.
Cayenne IPA is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I've
Yes,
had some great beers with habanero peppers as well.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
love a good spicy stout. Yeah.
Yeah. Gentlemen, I do have one more important thing we need to discuss.
Please.
I hate to break it to you, but another beer has gone woke.
Oh dear,
no.
which one?
Well, and that's okay.
Yeah. So we had the incident with Bud Light, with the shooting of the beers, which
Can we just? I just want to make it clear: Bud Light is not woke. Okay.
I know, but see, they tried, and then people shot the beers, which was problematic. But Coors Miller Light, Coors, right? Miller Light, or specifically Miller Lite, is doing a thing where they are taking back some of their less than ideal depictions of women, because women are the original brewers, and they are now turning it into compost, which they are using to grow hops, and then they are giving out to female breweries as a way to help support their business. And the far right
Okay.
is not pleased with this.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm afraid beer ventures are going to have to start drinking Coors until this issue is solved.
We must be able to find some microbrew they've taken over. I figure anything that owns by Coors, I think falls into category.
Or we can just figure out which women-owned breweries they are supporting and just drink their beers too. But also, when a beer goes woke, apparently the beer ventures have to step up to support them. And if I have to drink Coors or Miller Lite in order to make this happen,
I'm not going to do it every week, but I could do it once or twice as a.
I don't know, guys. I feel like we've put ourselves in a literal pickle here because we got to support.
You're right, because we are not a
back to the
political
pickle
podcast, but we're not an apolitical podcast.
Exactly.
In fact, I was wondering recently about what kind of podcast we are, because with the writer's strike, and we may not be able to have actual writers for a while. In fact, there's a scripted part of the intro that I've stopped doing in solidarity with the writers. But if our future is that we don't ever come up with a thing and everything gets written by AI, I decided to go to Google's AI, which is called Bard, and asked it to if the writing profession goes away, here's what will happen to this. And it almost sounds kind of good at first, but the more you get into it, the worse it is. And I'll give you a little bit of spoiler, because every time I ask it to do it, does a little bit better, but it also gets some things wrong. And this one, I fear, has misgendered one of us.
Oh dear.
So here we are. All he said was, write a biography for the Beer Vengers, the podcast. And it says, the Beer Vengers are a group of friends who love beer. Well,
That's correct.
Yeah, they started
Really
the
well.
podcast in 2020 to share their passion with the world. Each week they review different beers, talk about the latest beer news, and interview brewers and other beer experts.
We're doing good. I'm proud of Bard. Right. Bard is doing an excellent job.
The Beer Vengers are always on the lookout for new and interesting beers to try, and they love to share their findings with their listeners.
That is accurate.
They believe that beer is a great way to bring people together, and they hope that their podcast will help to foster a community of beer lovers.
I mean, honestly, I accept our AI overlords at this point because they're doing a very good job.
Okay, I mean, this next part is the closest they've gotten to. Like I said, I've tried this 3 times, and it depends. So here we have, this is the third one. The Beer Vengers are Captain Porter Brown Stout, the captain of the Beer Vengers. He is always up for a new beer adventure. Hophead Huck, a.k.a. Pale Male, the resident hophead. He loves beers with big, bold flavors.
This is not wrong.
I've been drinking more Kolsch's and lagers lately, but yeah, you're right.
Beer Wonder, and here's the newest member of the team.
Well, I guess, I am on the younger side of things, so
no.
Okay,
no.
yeah, okay.
She is always eager to learn more about beer.
Well, okay.
That's fair.
Well,
fair.
Now we need good union writers here.
I am eager to learn more about beer. And you know what? Gender is a construct, so... Oh, fuck yeah, my dude. Let's do this.
All right. All right. So,
she's accepted the new
thank you.
label.
I accept Google be praised. Our new technological overlords have decided that this is the way we work. And who am I to tell them what to do? until the right.
Oh fuck yeah, man, dude.
Thank you. Until the writers are offered a decent contract, I guess we're just gonna have to live with what Bard tells us.
Yeah. We got beer reviews, we've got beer news, we've got interviews. Yeah, I mean they've got some things right, but this is why we need this is why we need a human being to say what are your pronouns.
Yeah. Well, please come back. Please come back. Please give the writers what they need, and then also when DGA and SAG also eventually probably go on strike, please give them what they need. And can we please have entertainment again?
Right on.
Absolutely.
Right on. Now, what did you say you had a Martin House was a beer that you had?
We had a couple Martin House beers. Yeah, we had the
okay,
last Girl Scout and the turtle one.
Out of Texas.
They have some.
Yeah, that's the brewery I was talking about that does the wing sauce one.
Okay.
They also do a pickle beer, and they have just like everything.
Every beer I've had from them has been amazing. Yeah.
Okay, red ale, sour. Oh, they got a Bock. Yeah, pretzel stout.
There was one point when I was
pretzel.
when I was co-hosting the podcast previously known as Brews Less Traveled, now known as City Brewers Beer Club. My first, I think the first time I was on there, we were doing Houston, and I had just tried the last Girl Scout that time, which is funny because we had a whole survey going on saying pastry stout or imperial stout, and once I had that, or it was pastry or barrel aged. And after trying the last Girl Scout, I said, I may sometimes be up for both, because that was like the best like mint stout I'd ever had, ever, and ever hope to.
I like a mint stout.
I like a good one. I like it if it doesn't anyway. But that barrel aged thing just really made it fantastic. All right, I know we've been here for a while. We're about ready to wrap things up. Any last thoughts, Beer Avengers?
Globe Hopper,
drink more beer.
There you go.
That is
Drink
always
local.
correct.
Also,
drink local. Yeah,
drink local, and we're coming up on International Women's Month.
That's true
for Beer Wonder. Apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'm feeling like I'm concluded in my. Also, apparently, drink Miller Lite to support women brewers. And,
let's find something adjacent to that.
Yeah, let's figure that out. But also,
we could just go in Brooklyn. We have our lovely brewery, the Talea Brewing. Yeah, if you want to support those ladies
back home. Yeah, there's
back
a number
home as well.
And Wild East has an owner as well.
That's true.
Yeah, and Grimm as well.
Yeah.
And you can always check Pink Boots Society to see what is happening in women brewers.
There's lots in the New York area.
Absolutely.
I don't know about so much out here in California, but somewhere
out
here.
Oh my
well,
gosh.
California brews more beer than any other state, so there must be a couple of ladies.
Honestly, they should find us in whatever way they can contact us.
Yeah, how can they contact us?
I mean, the best ways are anything with like the @ symbol plus the Beer Avengers. I mean, if you just Google the Beer Avengers, you'll find us. Always make sure you have the in there. But at the Beer Avengers, you can find us at the TikTokings, the Tickety Talks, the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitter. And then you can also email us if you want to at thebeeravengers@gmail.com.
Correct.
And look for us wherever you see your podcasts are, and if you find a place where you can find podcasts and you can't find us, tell us, and we'll make sure you can.
Do we have a Twitter presence? Is Twitter happening?
Technically,
I've been honestly, I have been deliberately not putting much on there, but we exist there. We have followers there, but that's why I sort of was I too subtle with the way I just said Twitter?
No, I like that. I'm willing to open it up further and say fuck Twitter.
Yeah, fuck Twitter.
Oh my god. Wow. #fuck founders and #fuck Twitter.
Yep. Double fuck.
Yeah.
Wow. Double fuck. Now, y'all, we have really earned our explicit rating this evening.
Fuck yeah,
my dude.
Oh, there you go.
All right. We've got another one. All right. I think that's the perfect ending to the perfect episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Wait, but I think is the Globe Hopper. Is he the fourth? Is he like the fourth Beatle? I think he.
There were already 4 Beatles. I mean,
Like
There were
Ringo
four,
that
like
we
the whole
don't
thing.
count, or
Damn it! The
Oh,
fourth
rude.
no? I
member
love
of
Ringo.
Rush.
He's the best conductor ever.
the fourth member of Triumph. No, it doesn't.
We
quite-
generally try and say that all beer Avengers are equal, not to rank anyone, but you know.
Fair enough.
But the one thing that did sort of bump him up to the head of the line was his wonderful home brewing efforts, which I forgot to mention.
That's true.
Mhm.
He not only did he bring a wonderful Five Boroughs beer that I haven't tried yet, but he also brought 2 bottles.
Of the goods.
I know which. I know you said one of those wasn't as good as the other Globe Hopper. Which is the best of the 2?
The pale ale. It's
All right,
it's an
because
ale.
my
Let's
dad's going
just
to be in
call it an
town.
ale.
I always want to open those. It takes me a while to open those up because I want to do it when I'm not here by myself. And my dad's going to be in town this week, so maybe I'll share that pale ale with him, and I'll talk about that on the next episode.
I know I got the uke out and everything, but I didn't hear about it either of the beers that you guys had. The pecan pie. Did we get some pecan in there? Or
Let's see.
pecan?
It is. I mean, it's a little bit. It has the body of a 5.9%. A little pecan, maybe a little more sugary than I'd like, but overall it's solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Globe Hopper on your stout.
It's like drinking a mocha.
Ooh.
It's lovely. A little chocolate, a little coffee, a little bite. It's
Tell
lovely.
us the brewery again. It was the
Night Shift.
Yes.
And it is
yeah,
an
out of Boston,
8%
right?
Bless
8%.
it.
Yeah.
Bless.
Just want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
And if you want more information, or reach out to us, all those different places you are. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for being our guest, Globe Hopper. Thank you, Beer Wonder. Thank you, Huck. And Huck, play us out.
Oh, with a beer Avengers, beer Avengers, beer Avengers, with a beer Avengers.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.
Oh, fuck yeah, my dude.